Hello everyone, my name is SVP, talking on a KingBee, and today we are going to be answering the question, is it possible to get a Pokemon to level 100 before you start the gym challenge in Pokemon Sword and Shield? And just in case it is possible, how long does it take? The rules of this challenge are incredibly simple. By any means necessary, get a Pokemon to level 100 before leaving the wild area and starting the gym challenge in Motorstoke. After that, go through the game and defeat the champion with your level 100 Pokemon. Just for some added difficulty, I also decided not to use items other than Pokeballs or held items in battle. I guess all we need to determine is, who is worthy enough to beat Leon as a level 100 master? Well, that's easy. I chose Grookey. I went through the tutorial, picked up my new bro, and named him Swole after all of the gains he's gonna get. But we still have to get to the wild area, so let's finish the tutorial. I came into the challenge with a relatively simple plan. The wild area is quite vast, and before Motorstoke we have access to some very high level Pokemon to grind up on. It would be time consuming, but it should be possible to scale the experience gains to Grookey's level as we progress. But I decided this wasn't enough. Once we passed level 60, the level caps on the Pokemon in the wild area would come into effect, and every level we grew would decrease the amount of experience we could gain. I decided to make use of a time-tested strategy to get some rare candies to help us gain these final levels. There are Zigzagoon available on Route 2, so I started searching and caught 5 of them. Zigzagoon has a very interesting ability called Pickup. At the end of every battle, Pickup has a 10% chance to activate, and if it does, you'll find your Pokemon is holding an item. These can range from potions to rare held items, even max elixirs. It's a very useful ability. According to this chart, from level 11 onwards, Zigzagoon can pick up rare candies. They might be very rare, but even a 1% chance, given how many battles we'll do, will result in at least a few rare candies. Once I had my pickup party, it was time to begin the grind. I went to the wild area. The start of the grind was relatively simple. I battled a bunch of Pokemon, and when my level got too high, I would go to a new section in the wild area to get a higher amount of experience. But 3 hours into the challenge, I started having my doubts. At level 26, I moved on to the Watchtower Ruins to fight some Golett. The Golett were a higher level than me, but we still only got a measly 221 experience from them. I did get to level 27 from this, but with every level we gained, the experience we got from these Golett would decrease. This didn't make much sense to me. Surely this was far too little. I wasn't sure what was going on. I gained a few more levels while thinking it over. Maybe it was because they were unevolved. What if we fought an evolved Pokemon? Following this logic, I found a very strong looking Kingler. It's only level 28, but surely this would give us the experience we need. But when I knocked it out, I was in for a rude surprise. I received 485 experience points. Well, maybe that was just Kingler. I tried to fight a level 40 Golurk. It was quite tough, but I managed, and we were rewarded with 494? No. Why is this so low? It's nowhere near enough to complete this challenge in a reasonable amount of time. And to make matters worse, our pickup party hadn't obtained even a single rare candy by this point. I was very uncertain what to do next. Then again, I did have one idea. What if I did max raids? I went to a raid den and fought the Munna inside. We're a few levels higher than the raid Pokemon, so it wasn't too difficult. And I don't know why, but you get healed at this stage of the game when you enter a raid den. Bonus. I didn't get any experience for beating the Munna, but I was rewarded with 5 extra small experience candies and 1 small experience candy. This would give me 1300 experience, almost 3 times the amount the Golurk gave me. And as a bonus, I got a rare candy. From the past playthroughs, I know that this isn't common, but I had to wonder if it was better odds than the pickup strategy. For now at least, this had to be our strategy. Going from den to den, fighting whatever we found inside. The other positive it had over battling wild Pokemon was that as we grew levels, we would still always gain 1300 experience. It wouldn't scale down like battle experience did. It was still painfully slow. By the time we reached level 50, it had been 6 hours and 51 minutes. I don't know how much more of this I could take. The positive thing though, we had 17 rare candies. I ended the stream here and picked it up again a few days later. I wanted to see if there was any chance of going back to fighting wild Pokemon. The battles were usually faster that way, so even half of the experience of the raid dens would be acceptable. But a level 31 Kingler gave us 247 experience. A level 31 Crawdaunt, 244 experience. And the wild level 50 Steelix I thought would be my salvation, 266 experience. Seeing that completely floored me. No, I couldn't battle wild Pokemon. My original strategy was a complete failure. I continued with the raid strategy, fighting den after den after den, each level taking more experience and more time to obtain. There was a bright spot on the horizon. Since we were also gaining rare candies, we only needed to reach a certain level before we could just feed Grookey enough of them to skyrocket to level 100. I had no idea what level this would be though. It would depend on how many rare candies we found. I finally got Swole to level 60 at 9 hours and 48 minutes. It was starting to get very difficult, but thankfully it wasn't even 1 hour later that we reached level 62. It was time. I gave Swole the rare candies. Here we go. 38 rare candies. Here we go. $800,000 experience. Yeah, we did. What a grind. I think we proved that you can get a Pokemon to level 100 before you start the gym challenge in Pokemon Sword and Shield. To be honest, it did take longer than I thought, but it could have taken much longer. I want to point out, we had only gained around 175,000 experience in the 10 hours and 17 minutes. The remainder we needed to reach level 100 was 825,000. I shudder to think how long this would have taken if we couldn't obtain the number of rare candies we did. But now we're at the real question of this video. Can we actually beat the gym challenge and the Champion Cup? Let's find out. I won't bore you with the details of the early parts of this section. Milo? Ha! Nessa? No. Kabu? Well, he does have fire types, but there was no chance. We crushed poor Alistair. I always feel a little bad for him. Surprisingly, Opal was the first to give us some trouble. Her wheezing took out a good chunk of our health and managed to poison us. We took a lot of damage through the rest of the fight. I chose to Dynamax Grookey for the first time in the gyms, since we needed the health boost just to stay alive. By the time we got to Alchemy, we had 26 health, and our Dynamax had run out. Opal's was just about to start. Thankfully, it only took one Razor Leaf to finish off Alchemy. This is earlier than I expected we would run into any sort of trouble. I had put a lot of thought into this part of the challenge. Simply due to the level gap, I assumed our first real test would be against Rayhan. But given the trouble with Opal, maybe Melanie's ice types were going to be difficult. That turned out not to be the case. We reached her Lapras with full health, and if I hadn't been stupid and used acrobatics, we wouldn't have even taken damage then. Piers is one of the most interesting gym leaders, but even he couldn't take us out, though he was able to leave us with only a quarter of our health left. It was becoming clear though that Pokemon of this level were potentially competition for us. It's probably worth noting that up to this point, I had kept the pickup peeps in the party, just to see if they could get even a single rare candy. It turns out, no, not even one. For the purposes of this strategy, pickup was useless. In saying that, I never needed to buy healing items. They picked up tons of those. Raihan's gym is a double battle gym. In order to be as fair as possible, I deposited all of my failed Pokemon and caught myself a low-level Magikarp as a placeholder to affect the battles as little as possible. Probably the most annoying thing though is that they won't let you challenge any trainer in the gym if you don't have 2 Pokemon that can battle on the team, so I can't even leave it fainted. Nothing we can do about it though. All of the gym trainers were a piece of cake, and Magikarp actually tried to evolve from all of this. No, bad Magikarp. I need you useless. Raihan was likely to be a problem. I'm pretty sure at least one of his Pokemon knows Flamethrower. Razorleaf crushed his Flygon and Gigalith. The battle only got harder from there. Sandaconda was sent out and Duraludon was Gigantamaxed. Woodhammer didn't do much damage, and Sandaconda paralysed us with Glare. Max Rockfall wasn't the hardest hitting move, and I Dynamaxed Grookey in response. It's so cute as a giant monkey. G-Max depletion is pointless, and surprisingly Firefang was also pretty ineffectual. Max Darkness did a ton, but targeting our placeholder seems a bit silly. Max Overgrowth killed Duraludon, and even though my Dynamax ended, one Razor Leaf was enough to finish off Sandaconda. It was a tougher battle, but apparently he didn't have any decent fire attacks. As a reward for her hard work, I let our placeholder evolve into a Gyarados. She'd really earned it. We'd made it this far in 13 hours and 40 minutes. Only 2 hours and 20 minutes after getting to level 100. We've beaten the gym challenge. So it's time for the semi-final of the Champion Cup. Swole was armed with Razor Leaf, Drain Punch, Acrobatics, and Assurance. Let's see how we went. Oh god, oh. The rivals never posed a threat this whole game. I kind of feel sorry for them. Alright. Time for the finals. Oh, wait, I kind of made a mistake on my timer board. Let's fix that. Much better. We need to take on Macro Cosmos. I think we'll be fine with Drain Punch. Let's just speed through this. Let's handle that bitch, Oleana. Down, 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 down. Ooh, we took some damage. Oh, but now it's down. Okay, now we can start the finals. Oh, Bede, what are you doing here? Oh, right, losing. Oh, hang on, is that a Max Flare I see? That was unexpected. All right, let's see what happens. I Dynamax, use Max Airstream, and knocked it out. It's okay, buddy, you tried. All right, Nessa. Nope. The Alistair rematch. I'm sorry, pal. I feel bad beating you. You're such a precious boy. Honestly, there are a couple of moments in the run, but it felt like a cakewalk for most of it. Thankfully, now it gets interesting. I promise. Raihan is not the same person we challenged an hour ago. Torkoal puts us to sleep with a yawn, but was not otherwise a threat. When we wake up, we can take out Turtonator with a Drain Punch. Oh. Hey, our first feint of the run. I'm actually kind of excited. Strategy time. Okay, let's try again with a Chesto Berry to wake up and just see. I'm not sure it will use Shell Trap all of the time. Okay, it does. I went out and purchased a TR, Endure, and taught it to Swole. I gave him another Chesto Berry and I tried again. Torkoal used Yawn and hit us pretty hard with a Lava Plume before we took it out. Then it was time to PP stall Turtonator. I used Endure until it had wasted all of its Shell Traps. Then we knocked it out in 2 hits, using Drain Punch to heal ourselves up a bit. Flygon? No chance. Goodra? No worries. Time for some one-on-one Dynamax time with Duraludon, who I know has Flamethrower this time. But he doesn't use it, and 2 Max Knuckles take it out, so we've beaten the finals of the Champion Cup. There are only 2 more challenges for our beloved Grookey to face, Eternatus and Leon. Oh, and I suppose Chairman Rose, but his whole Steel-type team was taken down with Drain Punch. Eternatus knows Cross Poison and Flamethrower, 2 moves that could have been the end of us. But it turns out 2 uses of Acrobatics was all we needed to enter the final phase of the battle. With some of the best music in the game playing in the background, we call upon the ancient power of the mighty beasts of the Galar region and face down our foe. This would have been a great story if we were targeted even once. I do find the final Eternatus fight to be a bit strange. Even with a strong team of Pokemon, I always feel like I don't have much impact on this fight. It falls just a bit flat. Now, it's time to face the true test, Leon. I haven't said much about him all run. Truthfully, he's the one I was worried about this whole time. The reason I wanted to try this challenge in the first place, to see if it was even possible. I had beaten him once before with a level 80 Score Bunny, with items in battle. X defends and X attacks galore. I wanted to see if we could take him down with no items, but 20 levels higher. Of his 6 Pokemon, 5 are problematic for us, 2 are fire types, and each one has a range of attacks that would be super effective against us. Even in a normal run, I genuinely find that Leon is a step above everything else we've faced before. Truly, he lives up to the title of champion and is without a doubt my favourite representation of the champion in all of the Pokemon games. I tried to face Leon exactly as we are. Although we make it through Aegislash, and shockingly Cinderace and Dragapult, we have so little health left that we lose to his Haxorus. Second attempt, and this time Cinderace is the one that defeats us. I am developing strategy though. I try again holding a Citrus Berry. We make it to Charizard, and because we can't possibly knock it out in one shot, we just lose. I think it's time to mention that while we were in our original grind, I was planning for this moment. I considered the moves we would use, the items we could hold, and what our stats would be. I had even taken the time throughout our grind to EV train Swole. If you don't know what EVs are, I think the easiest way to understand them is to think of them as an invisible form of experience. All Pokemon, when defeated, will give you at least 1 EV in a stat, similar to how they give experience. And each point helps improve your Pokemon's stats over time. I had fought so many Pokemon targeting my speed and attack EVs to give me a power boost for this final fight. But even with that preparation, we were still not able to defeat Leon. I wasn't sure what we were going to be able to do. I had just one last idea. I go to the wild area and find the TR for Swords Dance. I ended up with a Grookey that didn't know any grass moves. It had Swords Dance, Acrobatics, Drain Punch, and Assurance. If this didn't work, I didn't know what would. We set up a Swords Dance on Aegislash and knock it out with 1 Assurance. We Dynamax against Cinderace and Max Knuckle knocks it out, raising our attack another stage. Dragapult goes down to a Max Darkness. Haxorus is defeated by a second Max Knuckle, leaving us with +4 attack when we come out of our Dynamax. Leon's Seismitoad gets obliterated by our boosted Acrobatics, leaving his lone Charizard. Gigantamax Charizard is a force of nature, but against all odds, we managed to take it out with 1 Acrobatics. And at 16 hours, 46 minutes, and 8 seconds, we complete the challenge. Yes, you can raise a Pokemon to level 100 before you start the gym challenge. And yes, even without items, with a proper strategy, you can defeat the champion of the Galar region. Thank you everyone so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, leave a like and a comment, share it with your friends, and make sure to subscribe. There's more like this on the way. So until next time, my name is SVP, talking on a king bee, and I'm buzzing off. Ciao for now.